This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Stand by for the next program.
Thanks for staying tuned. If you're just joining in, this is the interview session of the afternoon show on Providence Television International. My name is Ogbebo Ikekwa, and in the studio with me is Dr. Emmanuel Igariva. You're welcome.
Yes, I remain yours sincerely. We're always with you, and I'm happy to have you with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, we'll be looking at quite a sensitive issue in this session, sexual harassment, the way forward. When we talk about sexual harassment, first of all, I want to ask this question. Is it a gender-based thing? Can sexual harassment be against a particular gender?
It's both ways, unfortunately, but one is played down.
Okay.
When we hear of sexual harassment, it's usually the man against the woman.
Okay.
All right. But women too can sexually harass men. We have seen cases of men who became, blatantly submissive. All right. In that circumstance, there was nothing they could do, overpowered perhaps by certain gestures. So, but generally speaking, the women are always the victims of sexual harassment. All right. And we can find sexual harassment in the home, between the head of the family and the housemaid, between a lecturer and a student, between an officer in an office and a junior officer, all right, between somebody high up in government and somebody who is looking for a contract. Okay. So these things happen, all right. But I think that it has become a national problem because you see it in the social media on a regular basis. People talk about it, but what are the solutions? And I think that's what we should be looking at. Sexual harassment, it degrades. It degrades our ladies, our women folk, all right. They become pawns in the hands of these hawks. The men, sometimes they behave like hawks. They want to devour anything that comes their way, all right? All in the name of fulfilling their sexual desire. And the reason is they cannot control their emotions, lack of temperance, we'll call it. So, but it's a big problem, okay? It's also an emotional problem. And they want to take it out on women at the slightest opportunity. But it can be curbed. I think it can be curbed.
Okay.
Yes, these things happen. Well, in the university, for instance, we hear of sexual harassment on a regular basis. Okay, sex for marks. We have seen that many times. Or the lecturer must sleep with the student for her to pass, and also, and if she doesn't agree, she is victimized. And we know of a lot of lecturers, even professors, who have been sacked because of this sexual harassment phenomenon.
Yeah.
Okay, but can we continue with it? No. Can it be curbed? Yes. And it can be curbed through the instrumentality of the right kind of advice, okay, coming from government agencies, all right? Agencies like National Orientation Agency, ministries of women affairs across the country, because women are always at the receiving end. Right? And it can lead to all kinds of trauma when a girl or a woman is sexually harassed. Sometimes it leads to rape, okay? And you now begin to ask questions about the paternity of the unborn child. So these are issues. But I also believe that, yes, parents too have to play a role in all of this, in nurturing their girls, their daughters, their girls. They have a role to play in ensuring that they are not left in the hands of people who are not known to them. All right? Some parents, they leave their homes, and then the little ones, they become objects of sexual harassment one way or the other. It happens on a fairly regular basis. So, but yes, that's where parents can play a role.
Okay.
Yes. And I also think that the media can play a role. I mean, just as we are doing now, for example, media organizations should come hard on this scourge. It's a scourge, really, and it must not be allowed to fester unnecessarily.
On this note, let us take it one by one. Like for the lecturers in universities, like you rightly said, yes, some have actually been given the boot, but then it is quite a small number because this trend still goes on. And then you now see a situation where a student goes to complain. It is that student that is victimized instead of the person who is making her a victim. What do you think about this trend?
Yeah, because sometimes the lady in question is driven to the wall. Okay, she has nothing to fall back on. I mean, in terms of defense, so she has to, and I think that's also there's always the last option. Yes, she takes the bull by the horn and reports to the authorities that this particular fellow is running after her, threatening her with all sort of things, and I'm happy. Truly speaking, I'm happy that a lot of universities have come hard on these erring lecturers, and the situation is absolutely avoidable.
Okay.
It is avoidable if only you can control your emotions. Okay, some of these lecturers sleep with girls that are just their daughter's age mates. Sometimes as bad as that. Okay, and the trauma can last forever. You know, if not well managed, it can last forever, particularly when the issue of rape is concerned. That is another angle altogether.
Okay.
But harassment, but what pains me is that some of these girls are initiators of this harassment through the way they dress.
We talked about innocent
We talked
dressing
about
some
the
days
other
ago.
day,
Yeah.
we talked about it, and they begin to also harass the men.
Okay.
That one is not too likely in our present circumstance, because they are looking for something and they begin to throw their bodies around.
Okay.
It happens even in the church. The Catholic Church, for instance, a lot of priests are falling victim. You know, these ladies just throw themselves at the priest, and because there is blood running in the vein of the priest, he succumbs.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, he falls a victim. The girl runs away because she has perfected her act. On the long run, it is the church that is wounded, not even the priest. The priest is a bed of passage. They might transfer him somewhere else, but it's the church that is wounded, and the scandal continues for a long, long time. So we must watch what the girls do, particularly for people who are inclined to religion. Okay, once there's that scenario, they should stay away, so that we don't have a situation of scandal. That happens, but more often it is the men who harass the women. Yes, because of their sexual desire, and in some very ridiculous cases, they can even drug the victim.
Okay.
Yes, and then you have the element full-blown rape. In that case, the girl is unconscious, and the guy can go on and on and on to do whatever he wants to do for 2 hours, 3 hours, because he's on drugs. And at the end of the day, even the girl can get pregnant. Then the real problem comes. You can't find the guy who owns the pregnancy. And then, particularly the church, say, no, you must keep the baby because that's life. Right? You don't have any right to terminate the pregnancy. Some will even say, we'll keep the baby so you can live your normal life. But the sky is there almost eternally. The sky is there almost forever. And it affects both the woman and the child. Okay? That's why, I had a good laugh the other day. We were discussing the same issue somewhere. Woe betide the man if that boy becomes a magistrate from that kind of act. He will forever, if a case of rape comes before him, of course the man is going in.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
even though the rubrics of law has to be followed. But you see, that's the way it is. And I suppose that government must do a lot of enlightenment in this regard. It's a moral rearmament that we're talking about, because it's a moral issue. Okay, even though it's a crime when you commit rape and some other offenses against the woman.
Okay.
It's a crime against the state. In fact, two ways: a crime against the person, and a crime against the state. All right. So, but yes, enlightenment on the side of government. Let us begin to teach people that it is not right to harass our ladies. Let us tell them that yes, there must be a time when sanity should prevail.
Okay.
Yes.
Let us look at this case of a double victimization. I term it double victimization, a situation where a woman is harassed and then she comes out to say, so some individual is harassing me either at the workplace, as the case may be, or at the workplace, as the case may be, and you find a situation where the offender is exonerated and she happens to pay the price. There's a trending issue. I wouldn't want to go into details, but there's a trending issue.
No, it can happen. Sometimes it happens and she's not able to prove.
She's not able to prove.
Okay, so what happens? If she's not able to prove it by way of law, the man goes free. Because sometimes, look at this scenario.
When a woman is harassed in the office, do you take pictures and all that to show the harassment? So where does the proof come from?
The proof can come from, witnesses.
Okay.
From witnesses who are privy to the fact that this man has been doing this kind of thing for a long time. There may even be others who may not want to come out openly, but they will come as witnesses to justify what the victim has been saying. But look at the other side of the coin. For example, a man in the office has a girlfriend known to this other girl.
Okay.
And this has happened many times. So the other girl feels shortchanged.
Okay.
Oh, this girl has come to take my boyfriend or whatever. So I will make sure that I do him in.
Okay.
Therefore, what that means is that she looks for a single, sometimes innocuous opportunity.
Okay.
Yes. To harass the man and put him into trouble. Have you not seen a situation where the woman goes right into the office and she strips? And there's a hidden camera somewhere. The picture is taken, that becomes evidence. But the law must take its course.
Okay.
Yeah, the man probably didn't touch her, he didn't do anything with her. Yes. And later he did discover through interrogation that she had a mindset to do that kind of thing. Of course, the man goes free. So there are different scenarios. Yes, there are different scenarios.
But that does not remove the fact that there's sexual harassment going on in offices and establishments, especially.
Oh, there's sexual harassment everywhere. The offices is there. I've just mentioned some instances. The man is high up in the office, and a cleaner, for example, a cleaner is harassed sexually. Pretty girl, all kinds of things, and the man cannot resist. He loses control and begins to harass the poor girl. That's one of it.
Okay.
The lecturer against the students. Okay. A politician, maybe somewhere in Abuja, harassing. Didn't you see? I don't want to mention the name. A member of the legislature. Yes. He was caught on camera harassing the girl. You remember the story?
Yes, exactly.
Harassing. So, but there are instances like that. But I think as I said, what we need is a moral rearmament to let us know that these things they are negative in nature, particularly also domestic violence against women. Battery, for instance. Yes, the man is drunk and he takes it on the woman. Okay? He cannot drop money at home for feeding. He takes it on the woman. Violence. And some of the first ladies in the States, they are very, very hard on this because they are women. And anything that happens to a woman happens, what happens to one, it's taken up by the rest. That is a good idea, for instance. It's a very good idea, and I hope that government will put a tab on this, yes.
All right, just before we go, what is the stand of the law as regards sexual harassment?
Well, particularly when it comes to rape.
Okay.
Yes. Rape is a criminal offense, by the way. But the thing about rape is that when the victim goes to the court to seek redress, there can be trauma and the issue of stigmatization.
Okay.
That's why a lot of rape victims, they do not want to go to the court because the lawyer at the other end will ask all kinds of questions, very embarrassing questions, and you begin to wonder. But he wants to prove that his client is innocent. So in the process, a lot of rape victims, they keep these things to themselves.
Okay.
Yes, and they bear the pain, the trauma. Yes, it has happened on many occasions. So the thing is, it must be, it's not within the realm of strict liability offenses anyway, but it has to be proven that the offense was committed. And in the process of proving it, a lot of things affect the victim. Okay? But where the victim damns all consequences, usually the aggressor doesn't go scot-free.
All right.
Particularly when it is proven.
And that is always the stand of the law. We must always have justice.
Justice.
Yes.
Because that's the end of the law. Justice is the end of the law, by the way.
Exactly.
Yes, but in the process, particularly in rape cases, the victim is subjected to all kinds of trauma. And don't forget the issue of stigmatization. And besides, psychological trauma, essentially. And the unborn child, particularly when a woman is raped by an armed robber, that trauma is there. The armed robber is caught, yes, he even confesses to the crime. The woman is pregnant. So in that case, what do? The trauma is on both the woman and the child. Oh, this young man was, his mother was raped by an armed robber. It goes on almost for life. Okay, exactly. That is why people who sexually harass women, they must go through mental procedures, psychiatric. Most of them are psychiatric victims of psychiatric disorders.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yes, they are victims of many psychiatric disorders. And therefore, they must also go through psychiatric tests to be sure that they do not become a danger to the society any longer. So they are kept away somewhere.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel Egariba. Well, I want to also use this opportunity to tell you that Providence Television International, as one of our programs, will have mental health and you. That will be coming up later this week. So I've always told you, stay tuned to Providence Television International because we've got quite a lot for your viewing pleasure. Dr. Egariba, I know you would definitely have a parting word, a parting shot.
Well, Saturday has gone by. We had election. About Benin, Monomba Ewari, the second, has asked everybody to fast. Those who can, they should. Why not? Because of certain things that they've talked about, to ward off certain evils and evil forces. I agree with that. But also the combatants seek redress in the law court. That's what I said repeatedly over time. That yes, we should. I look forward to a day, but it hasn't come. I'm still looking forward to that day when the winner will have won convincingly, and then there will be a handshake across the table. But it has not happened. Well, yeah, I'm personally disappointed, but let's hope one of these days it should happen. Yes.
Well, on that note, hope things will definitely get better. On that note, I want to wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned.